Well, many thanks for watching. This is Breakfast Central. Now, it's been almost basically 2 days since Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari withheld assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill of 2021. Now, you recall that his letter to the Parliament outlining his reasons for not signing the bill was read at plenary on Tuesday out there in the Senate.
Now, the Senate, however, resolved to convene a joint session with the House of Representatives to decide the appropriate action on the president's refusal. Now, Senate President Ahmed Lawan had this to say after a closed-door session with members of the Senate just yesterday.
In January, when both the Senate and the House will be in session, presently the House of Reps has gone on recess. And like we all know, the constitutional provision is for the Senate and the House of Representatives to jointly take the appropriate action. The Senate also resolved to consult with our constituents during our recess in January. The Senate believes that our constituents have a role to play as the major stakeholders in the laws that we make in the National Assembly. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the closed session? Thank you.
All right, Senate President of Nigeria, Ahmed Lawan, speaking on that closed session. So all about the Electoral Amendment Bill didn't get assented by President Buhari. Lots of reactions to follow that. And joining us this morning via phone is Parliamentary and Political Analyst Fred Itua. Welcome back to the program, Fred. Good morning to you. First, it was the rejection to the assent of the bill, and now is the decision by the Senate to go, with this one. Now, tell us what your thoughts are on this first.
Okay, the decision by the Senate did not come to many of us as a surprise. If you have followed the trajectory very closely, you will understand that to override the veto of the president is technically impossible in Nigeria. Since 1999, when the country returned to democracy, I think we've had just one instance where the president his veto was overridden. That was probably in the year 2000. 21 years ago. Since then, it has become almost impossible, largely because of a multi-party system that we operate, where in many instances, if the government in power has a majority in the parliament, it can sway votes and decide where the pendulum will shift. So in this case, something happened that many people may not be privy to, and that is the people who were actually behind the scuttling of the override. As at Tuesday, they had already gathered about 73 signatures preparatory to plans to override the veto. But the governors, who in Nigeria are quite powerful, had to step in through the back door and prevail on many lawmakers who, at the 11th hour, had to cave in. And the outcome of those meetings was what the president of the Senate announced on the floor yesterday, when he tactically considered and also told Nigerians that they will consult more with the House and their constituents before their next line of action will be taken. So these are some of the things that have happened in the last 48 hours, and I think the case has been settled, at least for now.
All right, now, Fred Itua, a lot of people are already into the year 2022, even though we know we're just days away from that year. And elections, we know elections happening is 2023. Now, with this bill yet to be signed by the president, a school of thought has come out to say that that this might be staged. It might just be a drama. This might just be episode 1 of the season film that we're all watching. But what do you think could be the likely outcome of it all?
If the Senate and the House of Reps want this done, and then push the blame to the president, it can happen in 24 hours. They don't have to go through the process of public hearing of all of that. All they need to do is just to recommit the bill. In one day, they can get that bill passed, get concurrence from the other house, that's the House of Reps, and in 48 hours, that bill will be sent to the president for assent. So if he declines, the blame will not be on him. But as it stands now, the major bone of contention is direct and indirect primaries. And for many lawmakers who feel that the only hope of returning to the parliament in 2023 is through direct primaries, are opposed to the other option. And many political parties who, in many instances, are not financially buoyant to sponsor candidates opting for direct primaries, are also opposed to that single option. So they feel we should have direct and indirect, and whichever one any political party feels more comfortable with, they'll settle for it. But the parliament or parliamentarians are willing to go for the option. So they still have time. When they reconvene in January 18th to be specific, if they want this passed before the end of January, it can be done. And in a day or two, the president can assent to it, and elections will kick off in earnest. The primaries of the major political parties will probably happen another 6 months, June, July maximum. And we have about 6 months to get this right. And if that is done, then we can have some gleam of hope that the next election may be free, fair, and credible to a large extent.
And that's the debate, isn't it, Fred? Free, fair, and credible. Now, but just like you mentioned, the Senate will be going on break until January 2022, and the Electoral Amendment Bill will be revisited when they do come back. Now, a cross-section of Nigerians are not perhaps maybe comfortable with the delay. Do you think this is going to really augur well at the end? What should the average Nigerian take from what the president has just done and the Senate going into 2022? What should we take from that?
Unfortunately, Nigerians will have to rely on their elected representatives. When you vote for someone to represent you in the parliament, it means you trust their judgment. Unfortunately, we have less than 500 of these people who would decide the fate of Nigerians in the next couple of weeks. So at best is to prevail on your lawmakers during this holiday period when many of them will return home for the celebration to do the right thing. But it's also beyond what they want to do. If the president of the Senate and the speaker of the House of Reps do not want these things done, it will not happen. They are very powerful. The laws governing the affairs of the parliament confer so much powers on them that they can decide what to do in any instant. So Nigerians at best is to keep using a public fora to talk to their representatives through the media, through civil society groups, to ensure that this pressure they are mounting on them does not go down, to ensure that once they return, the first item on the agenda for the new year should be the recommitter of that bill, get it passed, and send and transmit to the president without delay. Then if that is done, then we can have some form of hope that we'll be on the right trajectory. But for now, all we can do is to hope and believe that during the holiday, some things will not happen behind the scene, and the parliament will do what they know how to do best, which in the parliament we often refer to as rubber stamp, which means whatever the president wants from them is what he gets.
All right, thank you so much for coming on the program yet again this morning. This time via phone, Fred Itua, our Parliamentary and Political Analyst, for coming on Breakfast Central. Fred, thanks once again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.